99 Jesus. 99 Jesus.
You wish for, because come 2018, that was the first big CNBC like printed my income right in the title of the article, and that came with its own craziness. So it's like, always be careful what you wish for.
We were going to ask about that. Yeah, we were going to ask about that. How was that? What was that experience? We did see the CNBC video. It has like half a million views. How did that change your life? Did you get like, all of a sudden like people needed stuff?
Was there like all of a sudden like an like I Heart Alex like Facebook group?
Yeah.
Well, what was funny? So CNBC first wrote about me in 2018. So because the video came out like just 2 weeks ago, so that was like the second go around with them.
Yeah.
But the very first time it came out in 2018, that was actually the most shocking, because at this point most people have known that I'm like doing well with it. So I think when the video came out now, it's just more like, oh yeah, okay, we already know that like Alex is doing
the situation.
Like, great. Yeah. But the first time in 2018 is when it shocked, I think, everyone, because they were in their head comfortable thinking that, again, I'm just this poor writer girl in the corner. So when that came out and I think challenged everything that they had thought about me, when I say they, I mean like every person I knew and the internet and everything. That was shocking for me, and how people treated me with that. And I think it was necessary though, because I definitely came out I was naive going into that, thinking like, oh, all these people would be so happy for me that I'm doing well. And 90% of people hate hearing if you're doing well. So
really?
I'm interested to kind of like get into that a little bit more. So did you find that, was it jealousy, or was it more so people were just like and felt entitled to things like, oh, well, you're doing well now, so you should be able to like do this or that for me now?
Yeah, I really don't know. I feel like it's probably a weird combo of a bunch of things in people. And I'm also like, I said this in the CNBC video too, like I wake up, I am not someone who cares like, oh, I'm a woman, oh, he's a man, or whatever. Like I just get up and I do business with like other people. They're humans to me. Like it doesn't matter what kind of human they are. And I just definitely, if you look at the hate I get, you have to go read through it. It's all guys. Men get so mad at this. Like they are so mad at me. And
like the idea of like, how is this like girl, like this woman making this kind of money?
I don't know.
Or whatever, just in general, just like making that kind of money somehow, makes
it's insane.
Goes to some insecurities about like, their lives.
It definitely, it has to be in like, I don't know. It makes them very angry, and I wish that wasn't the case, because I like want to like celebrate with everyone.
Well, like, it kind of goes back to what I like mentioned before about how like society like determines your worth based off like your profession and like what you do, and like for men in society, it's like you're supposed to be the one that makes money, and like if you don't make money, you're viewed as like a less than you know male, and it's kind of like that insecurity bleeds into like looking at people that are doing well, and you're like, something's wrong. I should be doing well. Why is she doing well?
Exactly.
And the crazy thing is like what's frustrating is like people have no idea how hard you work. They haven't worked that hard themselves. They haven't taken the risks.
100%.
And therefore they don't get the rewards, but they can sit around and have critiques and comments about work for.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's like, it's been great. It's been a lot of up and down, with all of it. It's definitely been dramatic, I feel like, in some ways, but at the same time, like, I don't know how to be any other way. Like, I don't know how to not work hard. So like, how do you work so hard? I'm like, I don't know. It's innate to me.
Yeah, that's dope.
Did it affect you in a way at all? Like at any point where it kind of had you like maybe second guessing what you were doing, or like, did that point ever happen?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be lying if I'd say that doesn't happen to me once a month, some days. The hate and just the way that I'm, some people will treat me. The dating situation's not great. I'm going to be real. There's just some days when I'm like, I'll just pause and I'll be like, is this all worth it? Like,
Wow.
is this all worth it? Because I'm like, there's a lot of people who hate me right now. Is my safety in danger? Like, I've actually started to worry a little bit about that with some of the messages and the obsessions. Like, there was one guy who wrote like a 4,000 word article and did a 45-minute video on like saying that I'm lying and everything. Like, he's definitely obsessed. I think he's in Israel, thank God. But like, you know, it's like all these things, and I'm like, is my personal safety worth this? Like,
Right.
but then that's because I'm a human, right? And then 5 minutes later, I'll hear, you know, I think it's God saying like, you know, hold the line. You're doing what, you know, you're here to do, and it's going to be tough at times, and it's going to be okay though. And that's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I mean that speaks to like a level of resiliency, but it also speaks to the fact that, you know, it's not all glitz and glamour, right? You know, being successful and being an entrepreneur, like these are great buzzwords, right? But there's a cost that comes along with a lot of these things that you don't necessarily think of. But so like, did you have people in your life that were able to be, you know, like maybe support for, you know, during this kind of like during these times where you're like going through this, like were you able to like lean on certain people to be like, you know, to reassure like what you're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm so blessed in that like my nuclear family unit is incredible.
Nice.
My mom, my stepdad, my sister, like my cousin, like my aunt, we are one unit, and like one unit against the world. And I know that, you know, not everyone has that. So it's like, I'm so thankful that I have that. And I have some close friends, you know, that have stuck with me through all of it. Some have dropped, of course, but the ones who have stuck around are definitely like there for me until the end. And like, I would also be remiss if I didn't say like, there are thousands of people on social media every day who write the nicest stuff to me. I don't know them, but they write really awesome things. So it's like, you know, I feel like sometimes as humans, we get caught up on the negative side, and it's like, but what about all the positive? And there's a ton of the positive. It's just the only thing with the negative and being like a 5'3" female is the safety thing, you know, gets kind of like a little bit something to consider, but
And so like another experience of the CNBC video that was released is like, can you imagine? Like, you could have never predicted this would be your life, right? Like, you were a poli-sci major, and now CNBC is doing like a cover story on you and like following you around for videos. Like, how was it? Like surreal?
Yeah, every day is surreal. Like, I'm not even trying to be dramatic right now. Like, because the most recent CNBC thing like is picking up momentum. Like, people right now, I'm looking at my phone, are texting me. It's on their Apple News. Like, I'm just like, what the F? Like,
you can curse, it's okay.
I never know. Yeah, okay. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, literally, like, I'm just like, I just don't some days I don't understand what is so interesting about my story. Like, I still don't get it. You know, you'd think after all this time I would get it. I guess I get it in some ways, but every single day I'm in disbelief. Every day. Every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a journey. I think your story is important because, I mean, every entrepreneur's story is important, right? Because like Fees was saying, how society kind of tries to fit people into like this cookie cutter mold. Somebody who like defies that and like builds a life, and it's like almost like more successful than the cookie cutter mold.
Well, like everyone likes the risk taker, right? Everyone likes like the rebel, like someone that goes against the grain. It's like, yo, you're taught, go to school, get a degree, go find a job that pays you, you know, the minimal amount you're willing to take, and just, you know, live that lifestyle for as long as you can. And most people do that just because like it's you know, generally more comfortable, it's safe. You know, like there are perks to it, right? But for people that, you know, can't survive by sitting around and not doing anything, it's like living in hell. So it's like, you know, it's definitely you know, personality driven, and Alex definitely kind of embodies that with her story. So with